I'm here. I can hear you.
Yeah, you're definitely fading in and out on my end, man. I'm doing the best I can to keep you with me. Did you hear anything? I was talking about it before you came on the show. We were talking a little bit about the stuff with Johnny Football and how it'd been a while since we talked about that, but here it is out there again. Once again, interesting stuff, but I don't know what your thoughts were on that. But as well, we were talking before you came on Monday Night Football, and you heard me when you came up with the teams bunched up there. I mean, playoff races are getting close now, man, and last night just continued to go that way, especially when you look at the Browns. Both of those games affecting the Browns' attempts to make the playoffs here for the first time in a decade.
This is about the closest I've seen this division, and quite records are, as far as the teams are concerned. My whole thing is what's going to happen weeks as we head to the playoffs. Who's really going to – where's the cream going to rise to the top?
Well, absolutely. What are your thoughts here on this past week's action? Of course, the Browns and the Falcons. Did you get a chance to check that out?
I did. I watched quite a bit of it because the other games were and I was very impressed. True, the Falcons are not what they were a couple of years ago, but still, that's a defense. A lot of guys Atlanta got from other teams in the league to try to shore up that defense. And the Browns defense managed to match up with them pretty well, and that's why you saw the outcome that you saw.
Yeah, Bill, we're still having all kinds of connection problems here. This is just killing me, my man. I know it's not your fault, but this is just killing us here, brother. Are you still there?
No worries, man. I'm here. If you can't.
Yeah, my man. Sorry, man. I got to do that. I can't keep this going, man. We're going to pick up back where we left off, and I apologize for the last few minutes. Definitely not Bill's fault, but clearly he's got I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have one of those internet phone connections. You can hear it. There was absolutely no problem for anybody else here earlier on the show, so I don't know what it is. Maybe, just maybe, the gremlins out there just don't want Dr. Football to be on the off with that now. Those teams all bunched up there looking at this coming week's games. Those are going to be an important deal as well. And Dr. Football just sent his apologize. Of course. I mean, nobody thinks that that's a big issue, but unfortunately it just really gummed up the works over here for a little bit. But we got to keep it moving, and that's exactly what we did. So getting back to looking at what's going on now, coming up, the Bills game, which, of course, they will be playing. I didn't think there would be any problem with that, but the Bills game will be played there this weekend. So Browns now, they've got some weapons to worry about. I'm not a big Kyle Orton guy, by the way, and I'm not going to get deep into the preview here, but as you can tell, it took us a minute to get back and rolling there. I'm not never was a big fan of the neck beard, so he doesn't scare me off that much. Obviously, we're going to get a look at Sammy Watkins and what could have been, but more worrisome to me is the fact that Buffalo gets after the quarterback, and going to be some nightmares probably heading into the game if I'm Brian Hoyer, thinking about the last time that I met these cats and the way my season ended. But those guys are definitely capable up front, able to get after guys, able to get after Brian Hoyer, so that's one of the biggest places there. And, you got the X Factor guys, which is you got the Pettin factor. He used to be here. Now he's there, blah, blah, blah. And, you want to beat your former coach. The former coach wants to beat his former team and so on and so forth. So you got a lot of those dynamics involved there. But I was definitely looking. I wanted to talk to Bill and see his thoughts here on what happened there. See, now I don't know what's going on. Now I'm hearing that the sound is the sound back in. Can anybody? Are you guys with it or what? Because I don't know. I'm hearing all kinds of things. This is just. It's gone off the tracks on a Tuesday here, man. But you got to keep going. What else can I say, man? Anyways, woosah. Woo-saw is all we can do here. Welcome to the Sports Fix Live. This segment has just completely fallen apart. Bills bomb the Jet. There you go. Guys, are we on or what? Anybody over there in the chat room telling me what's happening or what? because I don't know what in the world is going on. I've got absolutely nothing but thumbs up on my end all the way across the board. So we're moving on. If you can't hear the show live, then you'll hear it in delay, because one way or another, you'll go out there and get your fix. Looking at the Browns as they get back at it this week, some confirmation yesterday as we talked about it, and we're going to go to the break, and we'll get this thing resorted back out when we come back. But it is what it is, and all I can do is apologize and move on. Tayshaun Gibson, we talked about how sad it was to see what could have been perhaps a season-ending injury. Yesterday, we got the news that maybe not quite that severe, grade 3 tear of the MCL, and so he'll still have an option here. It's going to be probably 4 weeks or so before he can realistically maybe attempt to get out there on the field, but that's better than what the options were. So that could possibly have him on the field for the last game or two, but even if it takes a little bit more, he could definitely, should there be some postseason play for the Browns, Gibson could be back out there, and that's a hell of a motivator. We talked about that earlier, and of course it was way too early in the season, but when we talked about Alex Mack, man, if he'd have thought that he could get back, that would be a different way to do that here. So, Dr. Football, we're going to try this again, man. Let's see. We're in one more time. Can we salvage the segment? Bill, are you with me? Hello?
Can you hear me?
No, I can't. I cannot hear you, brother. I absolutely cannot hear you.
Unbelievable.
All right, guys. You know what? I got to do it. This is just, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll reset the stage here. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Sports Fix. It's live and it's off the tracks. When we come back, we'll pick up where we left off here. We'll talk a little bit about Urban Meyer as he lays down the law. Yes, I know he's going in and out. And I'll tell you what, I usually play the Sopranos music when Dr. Football goes off. I want to call Tony Soprano right now and send him and Big Pussy and the rest of the Soprano crew out to get whoever gremlined this entire segment. I apologize again. There was a tiny bit of football content buried into that phone call, guys. I'm going to take a break. When we come back, we'll pick up where we left off. We'll pick up the pieces and limp to the finish here on the Sports Fix.
1 in a million, I believe I'm gonna burn to shine. I was born under a bad sign with a blue moon in my eye, and I woke up this morning and all that love had gone.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Throwing you the best sports commentary in town, the Sports Fix.
Guys, want to take just a second as we head into this break and remind you about the official business printing source of the Sports Fix, our friends at Signs and Ship. Signs and Ship, I'm telling you, Chris and Pam, they've taken care of me since day one, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're a small business that's already been established and you're looking to grow to that next level and expand your business, or perhaps you've got an idea that you just know is going to be a great business and you need to figure out how to brand it and how to promote it and put it out there, Signs and Ship is the place for you. If you need a logo, they can create one for you. They have a fantastic graphic designer. Business cards, signs, banners, yard signs, mobile advertising, anything you can think of that you need to promote your business, they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
It's an addiction. The Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Fantasy sports lovers, you put so much time, hard work, and effort into playing week to week that it quickly stops being a fantasy and starts getting real. Real time spent making real decisions, creating real victory.
I'm the greatest man in the world!
And when the smoke clears, you want to show off those victories with a real prize. If you're going to be a fantasy jock, do it right.
It's mine, the most magnificent belt ever created, and it's mine.
With America's fantasy sports superstore, FantasyJocks.com.
What's your fantasy?
No football? No problem at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. The excitement never stops. Every day of the week brings a different set of food and amazing drink specials.
And now,
fans, Harry Buffalo North Olmsted is the home for every UFC pay-per-view live on the big screens.
Let's get it all!
And let's not forget their mouth-watering trademark, the Bison Burger.
They sure are good.
Nobody does bison like Harry Buffalo. The perfect combination of healthy and delicious.
Hey there, eat up, y'all. You's as good church-going folk. Y'all deserve a little treat.
What are you waiting for? Get to Harry Buffalo, just outside Great Northern Mall today. Harry Buffalo. Join the herd.
Hey, this is Alonzo G. You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Let's try this again. Welcome back to the Sports Fix, live across the Sports Fix radio network. I've got to tell you, for those of you guys that listen, I mean, literally, I can count on one hand in 6 years the number of times a segment's been as craptastic as that one was. And it's not Dr. Football's fault. I mean, he's apologizing during the break. It's nobody's fault. I don't know what it is. Everything was just fine the segment before. So I'm going to venture to assume that it was on his end. But you know, it could be on our end as well. I've got calls in the queue, so I'm going to find out right now. You know what? Before I go anywhere else with the show, let's find out if the problem was on our end or if the problem was elsewhere in the ether of the universe, because I'm going to go to the phone lines. 216-539-7535 is the number to call. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter, facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us at the Sports Fix CLE, and I'll definitely try to make this segment happen, Captain, and make it up for you guys that stuck with us through that last one. Hopefully I squeezed a morsel into that last segment that was worse. I'm very hard on the sleeve, brother. When it's good, I got no problem being proud as a peacock, and when it's not, I just go, hey, well, it is what it is, brother. Call a spade a spade. I'm going to the phones. Caller, you're up on the Sports Fix. Let's see what happens.
J-Rock Daddy, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
Well, there we go then. All right, man. LG,
I just have to wonder if this is maybe some Nick Swisher karma coming back on the Sports Fix show. He doesn't want that wishful thinking taking place.
Damn, that's it, LG. You figured it out. I didn't even think about that. We're over there jujuing Nick Swisher right before we go to the break, and we come back, and all of that happens. Let that be a lesson to you now. Don't mess with Nick Swisher, bro. Even in the universe, don't mess with bro, because bro will come back on you. This is clearly, that's what it is, man. We need to make a term out of that, like being Munson in the middle of nowhere. I just got my show broed out of the middle of nowhere.
Well,
good thinking, LG.
Happens,
that's what it was,
this
man. See,
happens, but now that you have me on the phone, J-Rock.
Well, now that you're here,
ask you a question, man. Is there any news? Is there any new news on this Johnny Manziel situation yet?
I know. I haven't heard anything more than what we were just mentioning a bit and where we're at with that, which is that the Browns are waiting to get the video and see it for themselves before they do anything further with it. Because really, and I'm being totally fair, you guys know that I don't think that Manziel may necessarily be a good quarterback in the NFL. We're still waiting to find out about that. But a lot of my problems with him are off the football field as well. But that's one of them right there, because that story goes two different ways. If it goes one way, then it completely it has nothing to do with Manziel. It's some idiot fan that got over rambunctious and he's trying to get a payoff. But The other story, that's totally different, man, because as I said, I'm going to throw the word douchebag out there because there's a difference between being cocky, being smug, having fun, all of that stuff, and sucker punching a guy when a security guard is holding him with his arms to his sides. Because if that's the case and that comes out on video, then we're going to redo this discussion a different